have a good...
You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Welcome to ShopCast EP4. Let's fucking get to it. So, it's kind of late on Saturday, because we got duty tomorrow. But, so I wanted to bring up a couple of topics that...
Go for it, man.
Alright. So one of the things at where I work at currently was brought up that there's a guy who was complaining about people speeding, right? And I wrote it fucking down just to make sure I didn't fuck it up. So he was worried about people speeding because he was like, oh, there's no good reason to be speeding. There's no good reason to be driving the way you're driving, right? Or whatever. And I was just, and being devil's advocate, I was just trying to state that you don't know what their situation is. Like, there could be a fucking good reason, right? There could, like, and honestly, when it comes down to it, like, let's say I'm at work and my wife, I get a call from the doctor's office and my wife's fucking, knock on wood, whatever, wife's in the fucking hospital, right? I'm getting there as fast as I fucking can. I don't give a fuck about whoever's on the road. I don't give a fuck about traffic laws. I don't give a fuck about shit. All right, I'm getting there, right? And that's one of those things. Like, there's got to be, and I don't know what everybody's reasoning is. Maybe they're just a fucking asshole. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, saying that maybe there's a reason you're going 90, 95 on 264. I don't know. But I don't want to fucking judge, and I also don't want to be that fucking asshole who's sitting there like, oh, I see I'm in the all the way left lane, and I see you rolling up on me real quick, so I'm going to fucking brake check you. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
for reals. Fuck you. Like, so, I'm not going to do it.
I agree with the statement, like, if your wife is in the hospital, you're going to get there as fast as you can, no matter what. Yeah. And I'll
push my fucking car to 146, whatever the top speed is, dude. I'm fucking hauling.
But I don't think that's the majority of people.
No,
majority of people's wives are not in the hospital.
Correct.
So, and the majority of people are just, they don't want to be driving. So they're trying to get their destination as fast as possible.
Okay. But, again, though, even if that is true, right?
Or they just like to throw.
Why the fuck, like, are you in the left lane and you're trying to be a dick? You know?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the fucking way, my guy.
There's a thing with the Autobahn, right? Yeah. The Germans, they have this highway called the Autobahn, for those who don't know. I don't know who doesn't know about that. Mm-hmm. But there is no speed limit. Mm-hmm. But the German driving test is a lot more strenuous than ours. It's a lot more advanced.
Yeah.
And anybody who is not passing somebody is always in the right lane. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't think there should be a speed limit as long as we're following that specific rule. If you're not passing somebody, get in the right lane. That's what the right lane is for.
Right, and I'm just saying, like, get out of the fucking fast lane. Like, I don't care if you want to go 95 on a fucking 55. I don't care. Right? As long as you're not hurting anyone, and then the people will be like, well, going 95, you could hurt someone.
Yeah, with agreeing with him with the way our road systems are set up. I'm not saying there is no good reason, because you just gave a relatively good reason. Especially if your wife's giving birth in the back seat.
Right? Or your wife's giving birth at a hospital. I'm trying to get there the fastest as I can get there. You know?
But here, you could just call an ambulance and then just turn on the sirens. People get out of their way.
For the majority.
So there's an argument for both sides, I see. With our current road system, as I said, I think 10 miles over the speed limit on the highway, on the interstate.
Why don't we just raise the speed limit? Why the fuck is it 55?
So I watched a video about like how they figure out speed limits, right?
Yeah, because I'd love to know how they arbitrarily do this.
Donut Media.
What the fuck is that?
It's a YouTube channel. You know, go look at them. But, anywho, essentially the way they do it, they figure out the average speed that people go on an interstate or a road, and they subtract that by like 10.
Okay,
So,
how long have you lived in Hampton Roads?
So that's the thing.
I've lived in Hampton Roads, and by that logic, we should have like an
thing.
80-mile-an-hour speed limit on 264.
With
there should be gunning it the whole fucking way.
Yeah, with these roadways are always changing because it's not the same people.
Yeah.
We live in a very heavily military area.
Yeah.
So people are constantly leaving and coming from different states.
Yeah, and I get that. Like each state drives their own way. Like I understand.
Like in Missouri, it's always if you're on a highway 5 miles over, that's the limit. You won't get pulled over.
Yeah, that's here too.
10 minutes over on the interstate, you won't get pulled over.
It's super sketch around here, dude.
Yeah.
Like it really fucking is. But I mean, without getting to like speed limits and everything like that, my whole point was like, man, you don't know why they're doing what they're doing. No. Don't be a fucking dick.
Don't automatically judge them right away.
And especially, even without judging, I don't give. Sure, you want to judge, you want to like get over to the right lane, but look at this fucking asshole driving too fucking fast. Like he's gonna get in a wreck. I don't care. You can think your own thoughts. Mm-hmm. But it's the people that are like, oh, I'm just not gonna fucking, I'm gonna brake check him, or I'm gonna go even slower now. Oh, I'll drive 45. Like that'll show him. That's not gonna show me anything. That's gonna make me pissed, and I'm gonna fucking go around you, and I'm gonna cut you the fuck off.
I'm not gonna lie. I have done that.
I've never done that.
So
not once.
If somebody's like riding my bumper, I have slowed down.
I have
been a victim. No. This is like on one lane traffic.
All right. Well, there's nothing.
They're
you can
riding
do
my
about
ass.
It.
There have been plenty of opportunities to pass me.
Yeah.
But they just won't pass me. So I slow down to like 35 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, and I fucking.
But you're just exacerbating the fucking
and I'm fine with
issue.
That. In that moment, I was like, I'm gonna piss this guy off.
I know, but
fuck this dude.
It's so hard. It's so hard for me to fucking.
Yeah, me too.
Like tell you like, oh, that's okay to do. Like I can't.
It's not necessarily okay. But in that moment, it gave me some satisfaction. So
yeah, but
I'm okay with that.
I don't know, man. It's just fucking upsetting. Like there's no reason to make things like those people that here's a good example too. You ever go and you're driving, you see like, oh, this lane, like the right lane ends, right, merge left. So traffic law state you need to use your lane to the fullest, right? You need to. So if it ends in a half a mile, you merge in a half a mile, not here.
That's dangerous though, because a lot of people don't let you merge.
Right, that's the problem. They're exacerbating the fucking issue.
Yeah.
Like if you just. Because there'll be people that are like, oh, fuck this guy. He should have done that shit 2 miles ago. So I'm going to ride this fucking dude's ass. And I'm not going to let him in. And then all of a sudden he's going to be on the shoulder and he's going to get pissed at me. I'm like, bro, you're making the situation fucking worse.
And
let them the fuck in. What's one fucking spot?
I have also been a victim of that amount of spite.
Yes.
Where I've thought about doing that, but I've never actually done that. I'm like, no, this is going to be driving on the shoulder. He's going to have to drive on that fucking rumble strip.
Yeah, it's one thing to see the guy fucking be like, oh, fuck this traffic, and I'm going to go over on the shoulder and ride up. That's a dick move. I got you.
I'm also the youngest sibling, I was raised as the youngest sibling for 12, 13 years. So my first inclination is how can I piss these people off?
Right. But you gotta be like... You're an adult now. I mean, you got a kid, you got a fucking wife, like
But still, my instinct is like, I want to irritate this guy. I want to say something to irritate him, and a lot of times I suppress that. I'm like, that's not good. I'm an adult now, like you said.
Yeah, like I gotta worry about somebody else sometimes, right? And it's, I don't know, man. It just got me mad. It was like some stupid argument that went too far, and it was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's what you think is like it's okay to brake check fuckers?
I feel like you have a lot of arguments like that.
Dude, I had tons of fucking arguments like that. Like, another example that...
Because you're...
you can probably fucking relate to is the always, you always hear it, especially as a guy who is like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about, how did we get on the subject? We got on the subject of, like, you don't know how you're going to act unless you have a kid, right? Like, you don't know how you're going to be with your kids until you have one, right? You have no bearing of how to, like, raise children, or you have no bearing of, like, how things work until you have one. And then once you have one, you can speak. So, otherwise, shut the fuck up because you don't have a kid. And I think that's bullshit, dude. I'm reasonable, right? I'm not saying I'm going to be best friends with my fucking kid, but I'm also not going to be that overprotective parent that's a fucking burden on my kid's life, and then find out that, oh, because I told my kid, like, smoking weed is bad, now they're shooting up heroin in my fucking bathroom. I gotta find them dead on the fucking floor. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a fucking... And to tell me, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, that's the kind of shit that pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
So...
And you have a son.
Yeah,
I don't.
have a son.
So tell me...
He's only 1 year old. Well, he will be 1 year old in 2 weeks. 1 year, not years.
You're fine.
But, it's... I agree with you. It's not... Responsibility is something that you develop anyway. So if you're responsible now, you're going to be responsible as a parent.
I would hope so.
Theoretically speaking, you're going to stay responsible. And so the ideas you have now might change, but you're still going to hold a lot of those ideas that you have of yourself being a parent.
Right
now.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
So, but so their ideology might have changed a little bit with stress, because it's pretty stressful having a child.
So I've dated enough. Well, I shouldn't say enough. I've dated girls with kids.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're not my kids, but I had to take care of them like they were my fucking kids.
Yeah. Every opportunity you have where you take care of another child, that's just adding to your parenting skills.
Right.
It's not.
So it's not like I'm just some fucking 18-year-old off the fucking streets who's never had to take care of any fucking person and giving my opinions, right? I've done this shit, right? And even if I haven't done this shit, who are you to fucking say that I cannot understand, I can't comprehend the idea that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So you won't know how exactly you're going to act until that situation happens, typically, in most scenarios. However, you can plan and prepare, right? Start thinking about how you're going to act.
Yes.
And if you think about that often enough, you're going to try that. If it doesn't work, whatever, you'll move on. Mm-hmm. If it does, you did the right thing.
Right.
Clearly.
But that was just so fucking frustrating, dude. Like, it turned into like some... Again, I don't know if it's me. It probably is me. But it turned into something that shouldn't have been such a big deal to a fucking big deal. And it gets me fucking riled up. And me riled up is fucking something, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't backing down. I'm not fucking just agreeing with you. Like, I'm going to fucking speak my mind, and right or wrong, I'm going to fucking tell you how I feel.
That's something I've noticed, not only in this podcast, but, like, just being a friend outside. It's, once you take a stance, I'm not saying you're not open-minded, but you're going to have to provide some fucking facts in order to change your mind.
Right. And so the fact that I don't have a kid, right, I can't tell you, like, this is how I did my fucking parenting, and that's how my kid was raised, so now he's good, right? I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you...
And you can be the best fucking parent in the world and have a shitty-ass kid.
Right, you can, and I understand. And I'm not trying to fucking say, like, I'm going to be the number one parent. I'm not saying I'm number one dad over everybody. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you can't tell me that I don't fucking have a fucking like iota of speaking. Yeah, an opinion to
you don't
give.
own an opinion because you don't have a child.
Yeah. It's not hard. Like that's a wrong thing. Like I shouldn't say it's not hard, but the idea of it is not fucking like outrageous. Like you're not all of a sudden granted some fucking like special ability because you fucking have a kid that also
because you
just
squirted
like,
your load inside of a woman.
All of a sudden, like you're like, oh, now I know the secrets of the universe. Like, no, motherfucker. Like you just had to grow up, right? And it's unfortunate that it took you to have a kid to grow up. But I understand how things can fucking work, right? I'm not gonna be like There's things that like. I don't need to be a fucking dad.
Give me an example. What was the...
Okay, so like one of those things
issue?
like, all right, me and my wife were watching this show. I think it's called like One Day at a Time or something like that.
Is it like a drug addict show?
No, it's a
Take
fucking...
it one day at a time.
No, dude. I don't want to get started on it. I told my wife I wasn't going to bash her show anymore.
Okay.
But it's just so fucking... Whatever. Anyways. So in there, like this 15-year-old kid in California, right? 2018, California, went to a concert, and it was like a concert, I think it was called like Buddy, like Bud, space E, something or another. So it's a marijuana concert. But this fucking bitch has somehow missed the whole concept that marijuana is legal in this fucking state.
Is it?
And Bud wouldn't be a fucking like in a concert. Like the fact that like she's just like naive to the fact that that marijuana is
not being passed around in that concert.
So she goes and first off the bat like does not trust her kid, so then buys tickets to this concert to go spy on her child right off the bat. Not doing that shit.
Fuck no.
Right.
So
I'm not doing that.
You should never spy on them. In that situation, if she wanted to go to that concert and watch over him, she should have been like, hey, I'm also going to be at this concert. I'm going to give you a little bit of space, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on you. You should always be, in my opinion, you should always be honest with your kid.
That's what I'm saying, right? And I'm not saying I'm going to be your best friend, right?
No.
But
because if I see
I want you to be fucking honest with me. I want you to tell me certain things. As hard as it might be to tell me, I want you to tell me something.
How old was this kid?
15. That's what I'm
15?
saying. Kid is 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
And like, I had my first fucking drink at 15, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it is, dude.
I started going to parties at 14.
And up for debate, but I turned out fine, right? Like, I turned out fine, even though I drank at 15. Like, I'm not a fuck up. I'm not not living in the streets. However, with a heroin habit. Okay. But my point is that she went and did that, found out this kid tried fucking like vaping a G-Pen like once. She saw
the G-Pen. What's that?
Basically the marijuana version of a regular vape.
So
they use hash oil.
A dab?
They use dab's a little different, but
well, it's like a dab pen.
Yeah, they use hash oil, put it in there like in something like this, and they fucking they vape out of it. It's THC but vaping, right? Yeah. And so she like brought him back home, fucking scolded him, and like how could you possibly do this? This is marijuana. You know how bad that is for you. All this, and grounded him for an exuberant amount of time, right? Ridiculous. Like, I do not understand that. It's fucking weed, man. You didn't see him shooting up in a fucking public bathroom at a truck stop.
No.
Like, it's a little bit of fucking weed. And that's my point, right? So, like, I understand 15-year-olds, right? Your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25. Yeah. Right? You shouldn't be doing it, but you gotta realize, like, hey, man, kids are gonna be fucking kids.
Yeah.
Okay?
They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
If he had a drink and you caught him, be like, hey, man, you shouldn't be doing this, right? And I'm not condoning what you're doing, but I understand that kids are weak kids. Now, am I going to punish you? Probably. Am I going to make it a 4-month grounding? Fuck no. I'm going to be like, hey, man, you can't fucking do this shit. I'm taking away your shit for a weekend. All right? And don't fucking mess with me because I'm going to give you chances. Like, I'm going to give you chances. If that's the rule in my house that you can't do this, then so be it.
Yeah.
Like, until you turn 18, you're under my house, you're under my rules. This is how it's going to be. But
exactly.
I understand smoking a fucking joint or hitting a dab is not the end of your life.
Yeah.
It's...
Especially when 15 years old, you're blooming with curiosity. You want to know.
Of course.
So, in that situation, I probably wouldn't have overreacted quite so much.
Yeah.
I would have been like, hey, man, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not.
I wouldn't even be disappointed.
I would be.
But I'm going to let you do your thing.
I'm disappointed. I get it, though. I'm disappointed that you didn't let me know that this is what you're doing so I can take care of you. That's the way I would be disappointed.
So, the goal.
Because that was... So, in Missouri...
Isn't it pronounced Missouri?
No. No, it's not.
No, Missouri.
In Missouri, which is where I grew up, I was told by my mother, I don't know, I haven't looked into this at all, so if it's not actually a law, don't come after me. In Missouri, I was told by my mother, it was a law that kids under the age of 21 can drink on their own property with parental supervision.
Okay.
So as long as we let her know, hey, we're going to be drinking, she'd be fine with it. Even if we went to another party at a different location, she'd be like, if you're going to drink, let me know. Don't drive home drunk. I'll come get you.
My mom was similar, right?
And
like,
then,
hey, I'm not stupid to the fact that you're going to drink. You're 18, right?
Yeah.
You joined the goddamn Navy. You're 18. I think you deserve a fucking drink, right?
Yeah.
Now, do I think it's a good idea that you drink at 18? No. Actually, honestly...
Not to excessive amounts, yeah.
Honestly, as much as hypocritical as it might sound, right, like 25 should be like the age for everything. Like, I want you to fully develop to the best of your ability. Mm-hmm. Now, am I naive to the fact that you're gonna drink prior to it, especially with the way that we do things in this country? No. But I want you to know that, hey, you can call me at 2 a.m. I'll come pick your ass up if you're too drunk. All right? Don't drive home, right? And I won't be as mad as you think I'm going to be mad at, right? I want my kids to fucking have an open dialogue. And again, like I said, I'm not going to be your best friend. I'm not going to condone it, and I'm not going to fucking say, yeah, let's start drinking together.
So, yeah.
But I will not freak out about it. Like, there's no reason to freak out about it. They're kids. They'll be fine. Like, I don't know, man. Like, but hey, you have more insight than I do, apparently, so. You got a 1-year-old.
11 months, yeah.
You must know everything about this shit.
No. So yeah. If I caught my kid, like, say 16 years old, if I caught him shooting up meth, I would probably...
I don't think you shoot meth, but yes, I understand.
Whatever.
Sorry.
You fucking...
Heroin.
Yeah, shooting up heroin, smoking meth.
There you go.
Whatever you do. Snorting that shit.
Yeah.
Melting Starburst, injecting in.
Yeah.
Whatever. At age 18, if he was still doing that shit, I'd probably kick him out of the house. Just because I don't want that shit. However, he's not 18, and I don't know how I feel about him in that situation. So I get your coworker saying you don't know how you're gonna act until until he or she is here.
Okay, so it's still... I still feel like you are comparing fucking apples to terrorism. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like, you're...
Marijuana versus heroin?
Yeah. There's a huge difference.
There is.
There's a huge difference. And there's not any way to be like, oh, a drug's a drug.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah. Like, in my opinion... I haven't actually thought about this. This is just coming to me right now. Alcohol, right? We don't normally call that a drug. We call it alcohol.
Yeah, but it is a drug.
Yeah, it is. It is technically a drug.
It's way more dangerous than marijuana.
Exactly. And we call marijuana a drug, right? So the only
Schedule I
reason
narcotic.
the only reason it's a gateway drug, in my opinion, is because we call it a drug. So people go out and they smoke that marijuana, right? They feel that high, and then they're like, oh,
maybe there's something
these
better.
other drugs they're classified as the same thing as marijuana.
Yeah.
They give you an even better high, but they're just like marijuana.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get... Okay, so I understand your point of view.
Yeah.
But again, that's a failure, I feel, on the parents' part. Right?
Exactly.
Like,
they're not explaining the difference between marijuana and heroin.
The first thing I want to do when my kid is... If and when I ever have kids, is explain to them when they're capable of understanding, there is a difference between smoking a joint and smoking a bowl of meth. There is a huge difference. Yeah. Okay. And by the time I have that age of kid, that marijuana is probably going to be legal in this country, so it won't be an issue.
Yeah.
I won't even have to have this conversation.
But there's going to be an age limit.
Of course, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm smoking cigarettes, dipping, vaping. I understand. I'm totally fine. Actually, Virginia has upped the age limit to 21 to buy tobacco products. All about it, dude.
Oh yeah,
so all about it.
July 1st, they're implementing that.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Is that hypocritical? Of course it is. I was smoking at 18.
Yeah.
But again, I'm fucking fine with the fact that they raised it. Like, I'm okay. Like, cigarettes and vaping and dip, they're all bad for you.
Yeah.
Right? They're carcinogens. They're bad. But marijuana is not bad for you.
So
marijuana's good for you.
There could also be the argument that you're fine with that because you're not under the age of 21. You're not between 18 and 21 years old. If you were between 18 and 21 years old
fucking mad
and you were smoking tobacco at 18, like you said, you'd be pissed off. You'd be like, oh, fuck. What am I going to do?
Especially since I just turned 18 and also now you can change the law.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. I get being upset. Especially as a kid. I get being upset.
There's always going to be that transition period with tightening up the rules.
Yeah. But that's fine. Some of that shit's fine. Like I said, I'm fine with marijuana being a 25 and older thing. Totally okay with it. Right? But it's one of those... I just don't want it... I don't want my kids to ever think they can't come to me with something. That's my biggest thing. Yeah. Right? I don't give a fuck if you're like, hey, Dad... I tried shrooms for the first time, like, with my buddy Johnny yesterday.
No.
I'd be like, fuck, okay.
What was your experience like, bro?
I wouldn't even, no, because, like, I'd be like, listen, man, I don't know much about shrooms currently. No. I know enough to get by, to sound kind of smart, but I don't know if it's something that you should be doing, especially if you're under my... my fucking, my house, right? Once you turn 18, man, I got no control over what you do. Like, I really don't. But once under my house, like, I don't want you doing this, okay? And I prefer that you...
Especially don't want that shit coming into your house.
Well, it's
if
not
it's
even,
illegal.
Yeah, it's just... Because I don't want to feel like I'm backtracking on anything. And I do understand, I guess, a little bit about you won't know until it happens. But I want to feel like my kid coming to me and saying, hey, Dad, I smoked a fucking joint the other day. Yeah. I want to let you know that this isn't ideal. Like, just know, I'm going to lay out the facts for you. Okay, your brain doesn't stop until this, and it has a bunch of good benefits for you and all this shit like that. And I just don't want you doing it. Right, and I'm gonna punish you for it, right? And then that could be construed as, okay, well, now your kid's not gonna tell you anything. Yeah. All right, but
and what always scared me away from doing the harder drugs, because I've smoked marijuana, but I've never done anything more than that.
Yeah, me neither.
Is all it takes is one bad trip. One bad trip, and you can land in jail. You get that shit.
No. The only way you'd land in jail if you got caught doing something.
Exactly. Right? All it takes is one bad trip. And
but that's not a trip.
You're out of the house seeing fucking demons.
No. Marijuana's not going to do that for you.
And attacking those
Shrooms would do that for you.
That's what I'm saying. We were just talking about shrooms.
Shrooms, but not marijuana.
No, I'm not saying marijuana. Okay. That's why I never went past marijuana. because I've smoked marijuana
Gotcha.
before.
Yeah.
And that's always super mellow. It's never been a bad trip. I don't think I've ever heard.
You just get high, bro.
I've never heard of anybody having a bad trip on marijuana.
Me neither.
I honestly don't remember anybody having a bad, like having a trip.
No. You just get high. You get hungry. You get fucking tired, or
You just
get giggly.
Chill.
You get giggly, man.
Yeah.
That's the best.
I've been giggly.
Giggly is funny as fuck.
I've been
bro.
so giggly to where like I went to a certain amount of giggles, and I felt like I got shocked. So I'd have to like reset, and I was like, oh fuck.
Dude, giggly is funny as fuck.
It's, yeah.
I love it.
But like the reason I never tried anything above that is because LSD, acid, you see shit.
Yep.
Mushrooms,
You see shit.
you see shit.
DMT, you see shit.
You see shit. Exactly.
And if
once
you're-
you start hallucinating, all it takes is one bad hallucinating, and you're in a fucking nightmare.
Yes, but it's not
And-
going to last forever.
No,
for
it's
the
not going to
most
last
part.
forever. But whatever you're doing in that nightmare, if you fuck, so in the case of bath salts, which was
Well,
like
bath
a
salt's
type
just
of-
meth. It's
yeah,
just meth.
Which
That's
is
all it
meth.
is.
Yeah,
It's just meth.
That's what I'm saying. So in the case
Name it whatever
of
you
that
want.
situation where somebody was smoking bath salts, which is meth, and they saw shit, and that made them start eating people's faces.
Oh, in the great state of Florida.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
great state of Florida. That's my wife's
That
from.
was a bad trip. All it takes is one real bad trip, and you're fucking in
Eating
jail.
somebody's face off.
Yeah.
That's no, I don't want to propose. I would never propose that drugs are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not drugs are bad, but I would never try to say that like anything natural isn't bad. Like marijuana is natural, grows in the ground.
Mhm.
Shrooms are natural. I mean, they grow on cow shit, but it's natural. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like you did anything
That's
to it.
another thing. I've never fancied eating anything off.
Well,
of
apparently they
cow
wash them
shit.
off pretty well. They apparently
Alright,
they do.
they
I don't
better.
know. I've never eaten shrooms, so I don't know.
No.
But,
I've seen that, and like I've seen people eat shrooms. I've babysitted people on shrooms.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I've done that.
they
I've done that.
so the two people I babysitted both said, "Oh, these taste like shit."
Yeah, they don't
had to eat
taste
'em.
good.
Yeah. They
I-
ate one. They were like, "Oh, this tastes terrible," and then they had to put them on a McDouble, and it made the McDouble taste like shit.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, man. Like it's. I guess my end goal of this conversation was that I don't want to be told that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about,
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Nobody wants to be told that.
because you don't know.
So that is not a good argument
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, you've never had this experience. You don't get a fucking opinion."
Yeah. I hate that. I fucking hate
That because that prevents. So say that person believed you, right?
Yeah.
You don't have opinion. You never develop a plan for
Yeah.
if that shit
You
happens.
stop thinking about it.
You stop thinking about it. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
this
I
guy's
don't.
right. I'll know when I fucking have a kid.
Yeah.
That's when I'll find.
I'll
figure
worry
everything
about
out.
that bridge whenever I cross to, or whenever I need to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
I'll worry about
Dude, I
it.
think about that shit all the fucking time. How my kids are gonna turn out, all the time,
Exactly.
like
yeah.
constantly, and good, bad or good, I don't know, but that's what I do. Like constantly think about like, okay, so in this situation, what would I do, right?
Yeah.
Like as a father, but
And it's. Yeah.
we'll come to that road when it fucking comes there.
Yeah. And you
Um,
should always like think about like, oh, if this shit happens, what do I do? Like
Right.
if I'll tell you something I never fucking planned for, and I wish I did. If your son is in the backseat of the car, you're driving with your wife, and he explodes with shit. Shit's all over the car seat. It's in his hands, and you look back, and he's just sitting there playing with it.
It is
what
what
do
it
you
is.
do?
man.
What do you do?
I mean,
because we didn't have enough diaper wipes for that shit. We had to.
man, napkins.
Luckily, we were right by a Walmart when that shit happened.
If my father
So-
taught me anything, it's to keep napkins in your car.
Yeah,
Always have napkins in the car for.
we had napkins,
emergencies.
but that didn't really do. It didn't take the bulk of the shit off. Or I should say, it took the wet shit off. The dry shit was still on there. Because I have no idea how far back he had exploded.
Right, but I mean, did it ruin your day? Did it ruin your life?
It didn't ruin my life. No. It
All
just was like, oh fucking shit! I didn't know I had to worry about this. As a
Right,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. Like, and that's another thing too. fucking want to say that I'm going to be a chill dad. I really do. I don't want to be that guy who overreacts to all of the kids' mistakes, right? Because, like, bad example. Okay, I know they're not the same. I want to make that very clear that I know they're not the same. I have a dog, right? My dog shits or pisses throws up or fucking eats my goddamn riffraff sunglasses. Okay, I'm gonna be mad for a little bit. You're gonna get punished for it, right? But I'm over it now, dude. It's just shit. It's material shit. Yeah, I will get over it.
So something I had to get used to is, so when somebody fucks up, like a normal person, like grown up, or even like kid past the age of 3, you can talk to them. You can explain to them why this is wrong. With an infant, you can't do that shit.
No, but they're also an infant.
No, like, you know, you have to, like, I had to remind myself, like, or not necessarily remind myself. I had to calm myself down with, he doesn't know what he's doing. I can't explain to him. Just let it go.
Yeah. But there's some people, man, you hear on the news and shit, some people, like, shake their fucking babies when they won't stop crying.
There's like, people who can't get over that shit. You've
fucking lost her. They'll hit their kids because they cry.
That's the worst, man.
You're a giant. You're a giant to that tiny person, right? You have to be the adult, and if you can't be the adult, you shouldn't have kids. Period. Like, you probably just should just stop doing whatever you're doing, and those kids need to take it away from you.
So I didn't read the full article.
Talking about that Hampton kid?
But no.
Oh, something like that.
So there's a law coming out in Alabama that is
well, Alabama sucks. I'll say it right on record.
They're passing a law where pedophiles have to get castrated. Chemically
fine.
Castrated.
That's fine. Well, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what kind of pedophiles are we talking about?
People who actually, like, raped
kids,
molested little kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They have to get. Yeah. And the governor, or not governor, it was like the senator, one of the senators, the same one that I'm pretty sure passed the abortion law.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. He was like, they scarred this kid for life, so they deserve to be scarred for life as well.
All right, I got you. Right, that sounds great. Now, slippery slope you're gonna run into, because I know for a fact
somebody was convicted and didn't actually do the crime.
Over some dumb shit too.
Yeah.
Like
pissing in a park.
Yeah.
That type of shit.
Yeah. Thanks, baby.
Hey.
I love you.
Anything else?
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
Thank you. So the guy that I'm talking about, don't know him, never met him, no idea who it is, but it's a story from a friend who's best friends with this guy, right? Was out at his own house, right? And he happened to live, like me, real close to a fucking kindergarten, like kindergarten through 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
Elementary school, children. This was like midnight, okay? Had a house party, fucking went outside, pissed in his front yard, okay? Yeah. And now got picked up by the cops and is a registered sex offender. It's fucking midnight. There's no fucking kids out there. And you're in your own fucking property. Now, if you want to get them for public exposure, indecent exposure, okay. But he's a registered sex offender.
So,
and you're going to chemically castrate this man for that fucking shit? No. That's what I'm saying. Slippery slope. Slippery slope.
I'm pretty sure it's legitimate, like, child molesters.
Okay.
People who have been convicted.
Yes, I got you. Guys with kitty porn, guys with fucking
shit like that. Yeah.
Got you. Fuck those guys. Those guys are terrible.
But
all right. But we have to take it case by case.
And in that situation with your friend, I'm a little bit more libertarian about that. I'm like, if it's on your own personal property, you should be able to walk around naked. No problem.
Well, okay. Again, out in the front yard's a little different, right? I'm not gonna fucking roll up when all the kids are getting out of school and just butt ass naked.
Even then,
this is my fucking property. Like,
it's you as a person, a moral person, should be mindful of that. That not everybody is like you, but I'm a little bit biased because my mother, her uncle owns a nudist camp. and she comes from a nudist community.
Mm-hmm.
So being naked, that's not a huge issue for them.
Right. And again, if you're on a compound, I shouldn't say compound, it's a bad word.
In a community.
If you're in a community
Yeah.
that's specifically stated like, hey, we're nudist,
Yeah.
this is what we do.
So,
I
yeah.
got it.
So maybe, like, not... I would never go outside naked in my front yard. I probably wouldn't go outside naked in my backyard either because my fence isn't high enough. My neighbors would still be able to see me, and there are holes in which their daughter, who would grow up, could see me through that.
Correct.
I would be mindful of that. As a person, I would be mindful of that.
As you should.
However, in my own home, I should be able to be naked. And
in your own home,
even
I got you. I'm all about
even in the backyard, I should be naked. I think we put too much.
I think it's situational, but go on.
I think we put too much emphasis that you should keep certain parts covered.
Oh,
even though it's.
I agree.
Even though it's the human body. You see that shit in science class.
Listen, I 100% agree. All right.
And in Europe, they don't do that shit. How many nude beaches do they have in Europe?
Perfect example. Okay, on first deployment, I went to, Palma de, I think it was either Palma de Mallorca or Lisbon, Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of the two. And I went to a nude beach, right? I was single. I was like, hell yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. You saw a bunch of old fucks, right?
I saw a bunch of old ladies and old men.
Yeah.
Or fucking like 10-year-olds. Like,
that's
walking around naked. I don't want to see a 10-year-old kid naked. Period. No. I do not want to see that shit. But they're okay with it in Europe, right? So I just don't want to see it, dude. I feel awkward about it. I felt really bad, and I had to leave.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a huge deal, and I think the only reason it is a huge deal, especially for younger kids, is because there are perverts out there.
There's definitely pervs out there, man.
And there's like child molesters out there that will fucking stare at your kid.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah. So there's
it's just one of the
But
I think we were founded on a prude by prudes, right? The fact that we
were founded on prudes, like Prude Nation Protestants.
Yes, the fact that we can chop people's heads off on TV in a movie, no problem. But you can't show a tit, like fucking really, like it's just, I don't get it. Like I really don't. But there are things that I'm glad that we protect certain communities from, like children, right? If you're not 18, keep your fucking clothes on. Period. Yeah.
I understand it, especially if you're the only adult around that minor. Keep your fucking clothes on,
Keep your fucking clothes on.
Even in a community where that shit's okay.
Keep your clothes on.
Keep your fucking clothes on.
Go to some place that I can't see you. I don't want to see that shit. And you might call me a prude about it because it's just the human body.
Yeah.
But man, there's just something about it I don't like. I really don't like.
It should be common sense when you should keep your clothes on and when not. In your front yard, keep your clothes on. If your backyard is exposed and it's got little fucking slits where people could poke their eyes through, or if it's not too tall, keep your clothes on. But if you have a fully enclosed,
but I mean, even with like kids,
fence,
right? Let's say, right, your son, okay?
My son's. He tries to be naked 24/7.
Right, but he's one. I get it. I get it. That's fine, right? But there's got to be a point where, like, your son's like 5 years old. Are you gonna walk around naked in your house with your son?
No, I don't. No, I don't
it's
like.
Weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. So.
It's even worse with daughters. As
I
a male.
Don't like.
Fucking weird, bro. I do not want. Keep your fucking clothes on. You've gotten past to a point you can have conversations with me. Keep your clothes on. Like, that's it. I don't want to fucking see it.
If, with my daughter, if she's like 5, this is a little bit sexist of me, but if she's 5 and she takes her shirt off in front of me, I'm not going to care.
That's so, I don't know.
I get that it's a little taboo for people.
Yep.
But I'm not going to care. And
that's fine.
It doesn't...
As long as you're not touching her, you should be good.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna teach her like, hey, you should keep
yeah,
keep certain bits covered because some people aren't comfortable with that.
yeah, and I'm totally fine with all that shit. I'm just saying like, even as I'm their parent, right? And I saw you when you came out of your mom, and you're fucking. I see you naked. I've washed you however many times, but now you're older. I should never see you in that state. Like I should never fucking see that, and I don't want to see that. And some people are more comfortable with it. Other people, like me, are not. I feel like I just don't want to see that, boy or girl. I don't care. I don't want to see it. If you can fucking talk to me in a rational conversation, or at least kind of rational, like if you're speaking words and understand things, I don't want to fucking see you naked. I'm sorry, it's just me. So that might even be younger than 5, but
no, I think 5 is about that limit, because even 4-year-olds, they're not.
Because you probably still gotta bathe them.
They're not like full on conversations.
Yeah, and you still probably gotta bathe them.
Yeah, but like, I think like 5 is that age where they can start to bathe themselves.
Yeah.
They can
like take a bath.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in there. Shut the door. You do your thing. Get your towel on.
Start to understand certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. When I was 5, I was asking my mom how they build shit. It was like, and I was like understanding what she was saying.
Yeah.
It's like I remember one trip. I was driving. Or I wasn't driving because I was 5 years old.
5? Hell yeah.
Yeah. My mom was driving.
That's some of that Missouri shit.
I was in the back seat. Yeah.
Missouri.
I was in the back seat, and we drove past a bridge. And I looked at the bridge, and I was like, "Hey, Mom. So, they secure the legs of bridges."
The fact that you know secure means at 5, I'm already impressed.
Well, I didn't.
You must be a fucking genius.
This is paraphrasing.
I got you.
They secure bridges, right? They build them. It's probably the term I used. I can't remember the exact terminology. But they build them where the legs are supported by concrete, right? That way they don't move.
I just learned that concept last year, dude. I'm 28. Like, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb.
And I'm like,
so.
Yeah, and I asked her, concrete needs to be dry, like, in order to harden. So
how do they do it?
How do they do that shit in water? Yeah. And she had to explain to me, like, oh, well, they dry it. They probably dry it. I don't know. They probably dry it outside of the water, and then they stick it in the water.
Well,
I was like, oh, fuck, that blew my mind.
Side note to that, they most likely built a fucking barrier, like how they build tunnels. Built a barrier.
Yeah.
Blocked off all the water, let it dry, and then let the water come in.
Yeah.
Odds are good, but that's not the point. We're not a fucking construction show.
That's not the point.
Like,
I understood my mom whenever she said they dry it outside of the water and then they stick it in at 5 years old. So that should be in my understanding, that should be the limit where you can explain things to kids and they'll understand the gist of it.
Yeah. Yep. It's just, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. It is what it is, and everybody's got their own opinions on it, and I'm gonna get off the topic about it, but yeah, it's just one of those things that maybe I guess I have to be a parent to understand. I don't know. Maybe it's true. So, completely switching topics. Don't really have a good segue for it. I was watching Joe Rogan the other day, and I don't remember what guy he had on there, but he's talking about these things called Tibetan sky rituals. They're fucking weird, bro. And I'll explain about it because we were talking a little before we started.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
So I didn't know either. But apparently what it is, when you die, right? You die, and if you want a Tibetan sky ritual, they will go and they'll say, all right, your friends are going to gather around you, chop your body up, right, into pieces, and take your head and smash your skull, and then put you on a mountain where the buzzards and vultures can pick your bones clean, including your brains, so your memory will live. They'll eat your memories and live in the sky.
What?
Dude, I don't know.
Wait, so your memory is living in the sky, or is it living in the birds that ate?
Probably living in the world. The fact that they've eaten your memories and now they're living with other, like, it's fucking weird, dude. I don't know, dude. And I might have butchered that fucking story, but it's fucking weird, man. Like, just the fact that, like, you want animals to eat you is fucking weird. I don't want anything to do with that. Like,
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't really have an opinion on what happens to my body after I die. Obviously, I don't want.
Dead. What the fuck do you care?
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to be, like, disrespected. But that's, at that point, I'm not going to give a fuck if I am. I'm not going to know.
I don't want to be, like, publicly, like, dragged through the street or something like that.
Or, like, what happened to Napoleon, where they, like, cut his dick off and shoved it down his throat.
Yeah, well, they did the same with, like, Gaddafi. They, like, shoved a knife in his ass or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's why Gaddafi is a thing.
Yeah, I don't want anything crazy like that happening to me. But I also don't care because I'm dead.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do I care? Like, it's one of those things, like, bury me, burn me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I think I have a will going on right now that I'm just like, burn me up, I don't give a fuck.
But the ideology, I don't think I'd ever do that to another person, because I don't.
Right, but it's part of their, like, religion. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's some sort of ceremony that they do that
even if I, like, understood everything else about the religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would.
But I
do
think
that
your minds would change, though. Like, if you were part of that religion,
I guess so.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not religious at all.
Yeah.
Like, but if I were, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you need to be baptized. Well, the idea of baptism is just stupid to be. I mean, you're just getting dunked underwater and saying, oh, God forgives you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
Was I baptized? Yep. I was I was raised Lutheran, but I don't fucking follow that shit.
Yeah, it's different for each religion.
Yeah. So the idea of it is just being dunked into water by a priest and you're fucking good to go. I don't know.
So,
but.
Yeah, that's because I'm Mormon, and that's one of their beliefs, that you have to be baptized in order to get into heaven. And they even have baptisms for the dead. That way, like, for people who haven't been baptized.
Yeah.
That have died.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that's one of the things, and within the religion that I have converted to, that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't know, but I don't think that you necessarily have to be baptized if you've proven yourself within the next stage after life.
Well,
because that's one of the things that Mormonism, like, that we believe after Earth there's a spirit world, almost like purgatory, and that is where, if you haven't learned about Christ, you're gonna learn about Christ, and if you have learned about Christ, you're gonna be teaching about Christ to those.
How
who
long do you
haven't.
gotta stay in this purgatory?
I don't know. I didn't ask that question.
Undetermined amount of time?
I didn't ask that question.
How good of a teacher are you?
And that's also where they're probably going to have to teach me a little bit before I start teaching others. That's also where you will stay if you haven't been baptized. And they're, like, in that religion.
Right.
In our religion.
And so that's all good and dandy.
But I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if you understand everything in this, that's being taught to you in this lifetime, or the next time, in the next lifetime after ours, you'll be able to go into one of 3 kingdoms.
But I mean, again, you know, I don't know shit about Mormonism, right? I'd love to learn about it, just to know. But to be honest, if you're asking my honest opinion, religion is outdated and antiquated, right? How many wars, how many people have been killed over religion?
A lot.
Tons. Super fucking tons of people have been killed over that shit. Over an idea. It's not even a fucking, like, just because you're Mormon and I'm not, does that mean that I should cause harm to you or you should cause harm to me? No.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous thought.
Well,
but the Crusades, the fucking, that Crusades is huge. Like the fact that the Christians went out and killed a
huge
ton of people, right? Yeah. Did all shit. I mean, think about like 9/11 and all that shit. It had a little more to do than religion, but a lot of it's religion. Like, hey, you're gonna go kill a bunch of people and you'll be rewarded for it. That's ridiculous.
You'll get 72 virgins.
That is a ridiculous thought to think that anybody is going to be rewarded for causing harm to another human being.
Exactly. And actually, the Muslims, like, I'm pretty sure my world history teacher taught this to me. If it's not true, it's not true. But this is the information that I got.
Yeah.
Right? The Muslim religion treated Jewish people and Christianity better because they were people of the book. So they had a religion with a God, and they thought, at least they're kind of, at least they're being good people.
Yeah.
And within the Muslim religion, according to, is it the Quran? Quran? Yeah, the Quran.
Quran, yeah. I think. I don't know.
If another Muslim person is homeless or is down on their luck, you have to help them out.
So, again, religion in concept is nice. They try to do the nice things.
Exactly. But it's like to the extreme where people take that shit and they take what they want to believe, but then they see like Christianity and they completely ignore the rest of the Quran.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, these are people of the book. They have a religion.
It's more of, and it's not just in Muslim. It's not just Hindu or Buddhism or Christian or Judaism, right? It's fucking the fact that you're following this thing that some person wrote, right? And you're taking it as...
It's important to acknowledge that a person wrote it.
Yeah, you're taking it as I guess that is what my God believed in or whatever, right? Like, the idea is that it's just ridiculous to me that you're not just going to treat another human being right just because they're another human being. The fact that you were saying, you're not like the Palestinians and Israelis, right? Huge fucking holy war over that shit because one's not Jew and the other one is. Like, that's a ridiculous thing.
The most important thing that I believe is that with Christianity, with Judaism, and with Muslim, they all have a book, right? Mm-hmm. That book was written by a person, right?
Yep. Or multiple people.
Or multiple people. And it wasn't written in the way where God literally spoke the words, and as you were listening, you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not dictating what you're saying.
It's just...
I'm interpreting what you're saying.
It was people feeling like, oh, this is right, this is wrong. This is what I got from these stories. This is what it should be. So you should always, in my opinion, take religion with a grain of salt.
Yes.
So...
Or you can just do it, not do it at all, and think your own thoughts.
So you could, yeah.
Like,
but yeah, there's always going to be like, oh, you think your own thoughts, and then you tell somebody, and they're like, oh, well, that's way better than I thought.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that forms a religion.
So think about like the gay rights movement, right?
Yeah.
Technically, Christians and Catholicism to this day are still not okay with gays. They're still not okay with the fact that a man is marrying another man or a woman's marrying another woman, right? And the fact that you in 2019 are not okay with that shit, you're
really
outdated. You're outdated.
It depends on the religion, because a lot of people believe that homosexuality, a lot of people believe that it's a test. Like, you're going to be attracted to men, but you can't procreate with them, so that's not what you should be. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, but again, not everything you do in life is leading towards procreation, right?
No.
Like,
but there's a lot of religions where procreating is the only reason you're here.
But that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, you realize that. That's not a good thing.
Which might be another sin in itself, because in the Mormon religion, we say that Satan, he can imitate the word of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So you could be feeling something and it feels completely right, but it's from Satan himself. That's they say that in the church, which I believe. But so where it comes out, like, shit, I forgot where I was going with this, but where it comes out where you should persecute the people who don't believe what you believe, like homosexuals, where you should persecute them and you should say, hey, this is not okay. You should go after them. They say that's Satan talking. You shouldn't hate the sinner. You should hate the sin. So,
but why is homosexuality a sin?
On the other side, just because it feels natural to do so, just because it feels good to do something, doesn't necessarily make it okay. You know what I mean?
Well,
because
okay, so for certain things, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I feel the need to murder someone, right? That doesn't make it okay. Just because I think it makes me feel good,
exactly,
that's a problem. But having sex with another man consensually should not be a fucking problem. It's not hurting you.
So
it's not hurting the Catholicism or anything.
That actually is that is a point that I've heard from a lot of other religious people out there. Just because you feel like, oh, murdering this person would be so invigorating and feel good for me, they wouldn't be able to spread their idiot ideas.
Yeah. Doesn't make it okay.
Doesn't make it okay.
But you're hurting someone. That's not your job to fucking end someone's life.
It's not. And it's not your job to tell somebody, hey, this is who you should sleep with.
Yeah.
However,
correct.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, I mean, it says the homosexuality is in the Bible. Like, that's not okay.
Soon as you bring the Bible into any argument, you've lost me. You're talking about fantasy at this point. And that's
where
my
I should
belief,
think you should take it with a grain of salt, because the person who wrote that book might not have been okay with the homosexuality. He might have been weirded out with it.
Super prejudiced about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So fuck that guy. You know?
Yeah.
I was at Pride Fest 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
And there was a guy out there protesting that shit. And I'm like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was only one dude. Obviously, Hampton Roads has at least come a little farther than, having a whole rally out there screaming at the homosexuals.
Yeah. It's
like, luckily it's just one dude with a sign. So fuck that guy, whatever he thinks.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just because
people are way too willing to accept what other people say as fact. They don't. Joe Rogan, he said they look for confirmation, not information, which might not be a Joe Rogan coined term. Yeah. You might have grabbed it from somebody else, but that's the person I heard it from. And I agree with that statement 100%.
Yeah. Like,
so if you think that homosexuality is weird, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't, like, it weirds you out, you don't like seeing it, you're going to look out there and on the internet
and find people that agree
with you.
Yep.
And you're gonna find their facts.
Yep.
And you're gonna accept those facts as your facts.
Yeah, but that doesn't,
their personal truth.
That's a mob mentality. Yeah. That's all that is. If somebody said, "Hey, fuck this," and you get enough people to have doubt, or people that have no idea, and you're convincing.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm with this guy." Like, that's not okay, man.
It's just, yeah.
And that's all religion is some guy has an idea and they're telling you this is the right way to go, and they're charismatic and they're fucking...
Yeah, that's the thing. People accept charisma.
Mm-hmm.
as the word of the Lord sometimes. And
I mean, look at all those fucking billionaire, or I wouldn't say billionaire, but millionaire fucking priests out there. You know, flying around their private
like
jets and shit.
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen's a piece of shit. That fucking old
I mean,
dude.
he won't necessarily be. He's
Fuck
not
that guy.
necessarily
He wouldn't let people in his church when there was flooding out in Houston.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that shit.
Like, he turned people away when they needed a place to stay. I thought that was Christian.
Yeah,
And
that
to let
is,
people
that is
come-
technically Christian.
Yeah, no, that dude's a fuck. That's a fuck boy, dude. I hate that guy.
But there's no way to follow the Bible 100%. There's
No,
zero.
you're a human. That's not.
Yeah.
If you're trying to live perfectly by the Bible, I mean, it's gonna be a sad life for you. I'm sorry. It's gonna be very sad.
Everybody has their one vice. Their one vice.
Yeah. Just
Or-
for that guy
and
happens to
some
be
people have
taking millions
multiple.
of dollars from poor people.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Flying around in private jets, probably gambling. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. That's all I'm trying to say is that it's outdated. The fact that you're listening to some 2,000-plus-year-old
But
fucking book that
think
says
about it.
homosexuality is bad.
Think about it. If somebody wrote a book right now and claimed it as a religion, would you believe them?
People do religions all the time. I don't believe in religion
People don't-
because I think religion,
So-
like I said, is dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. It's almost like a cult. I feel like it is a cult, right?
Technically, all religions are a cult.
You have
yeah.
fallen into a charismatic fucking person's, arms and
Ideology.
said, guess what? I'm going to teach you the ways that I believe,
Yeah.
right? And you're just going to agree with it. Like, you don't think for yourself. You're just out there the Bible says this, or the Quran says this, so it must be true. That's not okay. You need to be a free-thinking human being who says, hey, this transgender person wants to, go through their surgery or whatever, and I think that's wrong. Well, that's a fucked up way to think. They're not hurting you. Like, they're doing whatever they want to live their best life. And if that means they were born a man and want to be a woman, so be it. Go live your life, because it's not going to affect me.
That's
right?
yeah.
Now, if someone's forcing something upon me, like, oh, being straight is wrong now I got a problem. Now I have a real problem. But nobody's doing that. No gay people, no fucking transgender people, nobody's doing that. The only person that's doing that is the people that come to my fucking house and say, let me tell you about the Lord and how you're sinning.
Whoa.
Fuck those fucking people.
So, those aren't the only people. Because most of that is, they're us, the Mormons, and...
Well, I mean, there's tons of people out there.
Yeah.
There's the
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Those are the two main people that you get showing up at your door knocking.
Yeah.
You don't get the baptisms. Or the Baptists. And you don't get the Lutherans. You don't get the Catholics.
Yeah, they're not usually coming. But
exactly.
My point is like, I literally got somebody who came to my house, and it just happened to be me. My wife was underway, and they told me that they're like, oh, do you know it's the wife's responsibility to take care of her husband? Responsibility? Listen, man, in a perfect world, it'd be super awesome if I got taken care of all the time. But that's not how it works.
I agree with that statement, but I also think it's the husband's responsibility to take care of the wife.
But that's not according to the Bible. According to the Bible, I'm supposed to fucking be the most important thing in my wife's entire life. She shouldn't even be working. What the fuck's she doing getting out of the house?
No. According to the Bible, it should be God, Jesus Christ, then you.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, that's not a smart way to live.
Nobody... I don't care, like, how virtuous you are and how Christian you are. There is no way you are going to hold somebody you've never met, somebody who you've only heard stories about, over somebody you love, and you fell in love with them, and you have all of these memories with. There's no way you're holding somebody you've never met over them.
I don't know, man. I told my wife that, and she thought she got a kick out of it. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. These people out here trying to tell me how to fucking live. You don't need to tell me how to fucking live, bro. That's all I'm trying to get at. You know?
All right.
That's all I'm trying to get at. And
Yeah.
what the fuck is this? Oh, you got that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't know.
You just call it here, and we're losing lighting.
Yeah, we are. You're getting pretty dark.
Yeah.
So. All right. Yeah, we'll call it here.
Thanks for joining us. Shopcast episode 4.
Yep. Shopcast episode 4. Any comments? Feel free to leave them in the comment.
Any topics of discussion you want us to cover, research, please email us. The real Shopcast at Gmail.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yep. And we'll be back on next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Feel free to correct us.
Yeah. By any means, this is just opinions.
Yeah,
mostly.
Yeah. If like, because I'm not very familiar with the Muslim religion. I only know what we learned in world history. So if you are familiar with that or any other topic that we covered, please let us know. We're always looking to get more informed.
Yeah, always, man. And like I said, if you want to be, if you want your opinions fucking put out here, or if you want, you think we're fucked up or something, man, let us know. That's all I'm saying, man. Let us know. We're open to most things. So yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Thanks, guys.